Let's see. I think I'm live. Am I live? I think I'm live. I see six people. I see six people. Volume should be up. All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge, talking papas. Talking papas live on a treacherous Tuesday. Now, we're going to coordinate a little bit because hopefully, there will be an interview today. I thought it was going to be yesterday. Hopefully, it's going to be today. So just give me a heads up. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm interested in watching that interview, as I'm sure many of you are as well. Baby girl Wendy, first and last out. That's right. Nice to see you. Mags, damn girl, you don't want to miss the party this time. How's it going, Max? Nice to see you. OG Smalls, what's up, Frank T and Familia? Ill Mannered, Frank Tica's dropping dropping papas. What is it? Talking knowledge. You know, gotta mix it up a little bit. Gotta mix it up a little bit. What's up, the Hangman Stranger? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, bro. Thanks so much for stopping by. Good afternoon, Ticas, and everyone listening from work. Thank you so much, brother. Shout out to you. Ill, Wendy, Mags, Primo. That's right. Sooners. Hey, salute to you, Sooners. Nice to see you. Please go check out Sooners channel. Hey, man, I just saw the last video you put out. I'm waiting for part 2. Interesting. Fucking Mohawk Dan. Fucking Mohawk Dan. Hey, shout out to the Exposed Tube Revolution. Shout out to ET, the Exposed Tube channel, platform, and everything that goes on with the Exposed Tube. Man, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Everything, man. Ladies of Exposed Tube as well, doing their thing. You know, we get it cracking. Got battle boxes, right? We have the collective. We're going to have the radio pretty soon. Let's see. Saludos, Charro Pistolero. First time I've seen you around. What's up, Mr. Oxnard? Nice to see you. Saludos to you. Saludos to everyone so far. It'd be treacherous sometimes. Yeah, man, it'd be treacherous. That's what, I called it Treacherous Tuesday in light of the possible interview. But I also think that we can sometimes be treacherous just with our actions and with our thoughts, with the way we do what we do. We could be treacherous, right? Cubo Frank Ticas, eso canal. That's right, Rudy. Nice to see you, man. Ill mannered. Okay, that's right. Mr. Machete, Mr. Ticas. I sent mine in full. Respect to everyone. Always showing support. That's right, Machete. Brother Ill mannered. Mr. Oxnard. Everyone's in here. Ghost. Sooner. Salute. Ill mannered. Peeping Hawk. Yeah. Peeping Hawk. Peeping Tom. Peeping Tom, Dick, and Harry. Or peeping, we can mix that around. Fucking peeping Tom Mohawk Dan. That's crazy. We're talking papas. Treacherous Tuesday. Shout out to 2 times. I don't know if he's here. Shout out to 2 times. Hey, what's up, Torta Pounder? Nice to see you. Yo. Thank you for your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. That's right, Free Ghost, Ms. Yaya, Frank, and Chet. Thank you so much for stopping by as well. Talking Papas, we're talking Papas. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge. Talking Papas live on a treacherous Tuesday. I was saying shout out to 2 times. 2 times left a comment on my video, on the video I put out yesterday, as did 2 other people. And I want to talk about that. I think that that's the whole point of me putting out videos sometimes, is just to get a conversation going. Now, I want you guys to realize, if you haven't already done so, you guys can go back and watch that video. It was my reaction to Skittles putting out a video talking about the meltdown has begun. And I was not talking on that video about the crime per se. I was not excusing anyone, nothing at all, not defending anybody. What I was pointing out was the hypocrisy. Okay, but I do think that it's important. I do think that it's important in light of the comments that I got, that we do speak a little bit about playing the devil's advocate, really testing your beliefs, testing what it is that you believe every now and then is good. You ever see the video Dub saying everyone keeps talking about my homeboy Weddle, maybe I should get him? Yeah, I saw it. Maybe I should do an interview. Yeah, he said it very confidently. I remember. A little smirk on his face. I know. I've seen that video. I wonder. That's a very good question. That's why, hey, Treacherous Tuesday, Treacherous Tuesday. Sometimes you don't know when all your mañas are going to be put under a spotlight. And see, I find this funny because some people think that they're going to do that to me using stuff that I've already put out there. So how can you use stuff that I've already put out there against me? Like, I put it out there. Hundreds of people know who I am. But when you're hiding and you're pretending and you're cosplaying and all of these things, you should be worried. You should be worried about getting discovered if you're putting all your eggs into the image basket. If that's where all your eggs are, and what your image looks like, and you've got some issues, you've got some skeletons, that's crazy. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Treacherous Tuesdays, talking papas with Frank Ticas. Cuba OG Smalls and all up in the chat. Frank Ticas, the champ, get down video. Hey, thanks so much, Rudy Placencia. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your shout out. Thank you for your support. Saludos, Paisano. What's up, Paisano? Nice to see you. Ill mannered. Hey, salute to chat. Happy Tuesday. That's right, Runner's Pug. Nice to see you, man. Always putting it down. Glad to have you here, man. Fucking Mag. Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying that, dude. I was kind of like, Runner's Pug. Was I clarifying something? I don't know what we. Okay. I don't know what it was. Did I clarify something? I don't know. Yeah, so I wanted to be very clear. I particularly have no judgment whatsoever on the Carmelo Anthony case, but only to say that no matter what side of the spectrum you are on, that situation can be weaponized in culture wars. I'm stuttering all of a sudden. Everyone's stuttering lately. Those type of cases can be used in culture wars, and that's where we have to be careful. Runner's Pug, that's right. Mag's the hitter, that's right. Hey, Mimi, hey, nice to see you, Mimi's. Hey, chat, hey, nice to see you, Mimi. Thanks so much for stopping by. Mags, good to see you. Miss Yaya, Mags is in here as well. Nice to see you, Mag. Shout out to you. Good to see you. Kelly Big Dog, everybody's in the house. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. Once again, I have no bones in that situation. Let the law be the law. Let, the judges decide. That's my argument. That's my argument. My argument is for people to try to look outside of things. Now, we have to be very clear. And this is where, I wanted to talk a little bit about playing the devil's advocate, because I think that we sometimes need to question our motives and our ideas and why we're thinking a certain way. Okay, are we being biased? Are we being sincere? If we were in the other, if if we were in the other person's shoes, would we feel the same way that we do now? Or would we maybe feel the same way as the party that we're criticizing? So to me, it's that. You just got to question yourself and not be a hypocrite. Lame Lenny does nothing more than walk the fence. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about. That's exactly was my criticism. That's my criticism. Okay, Mimi, that's right, Miss Yaya, Mimi's OG Small CBD. So let me see if I can share this. Hold on, I want to share the comments. Maybe we could blow this up. Hold on, let me blow it up a little bit. Okay, so there's a couple of comments I want to read here. The first one, let me sort it by new. I think by new is okay. Now this is a very good comment left by Juan Macias. I'm gonna read it in a little bit. Okay, but first I get these two. So these two are the ones I want us to look at. The first one says, "Oh man, you are retarded." Okay. So I put a quote. I put, "Insults are the arguments employed by those who are in the wrong." I love that quote. And then he responds and he says, "Surprised you can write." What do you mean? Like, I just spoke. I just put all of this together. Why would I not know how to write if I wrote a lot of things in the video? But it says, "Surprised you can write. I don't even care for Gunner, but you're taking a low IQ position on this Carmelo shit. Thanks for exposing yourself, bro." Where in the video am I taking a position on it? What I'm playing is the devil's advocate, and we're going to get to that, which is totally different than actually co-signing one side or the other. I'm playing the devil's advocate in this video based on who the video truly is about. The video is about Skittles, and he's a hypocrite. He's a liar. He's a scammer. He only cares about himself and what he's going through. Fuck everyone else. So for him, it's very quick to come out here and judge and do all of these accusations, even creating scenarios like, "Oh, your mouth got you in trouble," and then using racist, like rage bait. That's what I was criticizing. And I'm criticizing it because he's best friends with someone, if by that logic, by his logic in the video, should still be in prison. Skittles should still be in prison. So my whole argument was, okay, if it was the other way around, would you still feel that way? Now, someone asked me, okay, so that's with this one, right? Then we have this other one. And it says, "Bro, you sound stupid, homie. He not going to get an appeal pen." I don't know. He can set an appeal. I don't know. I'm not the judge. The likelihood of it happening obviously are very, very low. But having released the video, if people start pushing, if there's like a public outcry, if there's some legal merit that the other party can't hang on to, who's to say it doesn't go through? But whether it goes through or not, I'm questioning your logic, not mine. I don't really, I have no dog in this fight. Whatever happens in the court, whatever's decided, what can you do? And all you can do is try to appeal. That's it. So anyways, he's going to get Pendel. Even if 4 kids surrounding him, the point is they didn't jump him. Only one person touched the kid, point blank, period. So look lame. That kid is done. He's not going to get an appeal. Well, so what? Okay, but why are you so upset? Why are you so upset? My reaction was not on the crime or the case or the judgment. It was on Skittles being a hypocrite and a racist. But since you bring up the question, why are you so upset? What if he does throw in the appeal? What if his appeal has some merit and it actually changes something in the sentence? What are you going to get mad? What are you going to do? Now, 2 times, and that's why I shout out to 2 times, he asked me this. He said, "Carmelo went overboard, no doubt." I have no argument there. No doubt about it, Frank. He said, imagine if the kid that got stabbed was one of our kids. Okay, I have done that. But now I also imagine, what if the kid doing the stabbing was my kid? I would hope, God forbid, put that away from me. But what I'm saying is, what if it's your kid? Because we don't know. Like, up to now, we don't know the backstory, right? Up to now, we don't know the backstory of what was going on between these two. Or maybe there is. I don't know. I haven't really studied. Like I said, I'm not that invested in this. But what I'm saying is, you must also feel that same way if your son is caught up in a crime and you're trying to look for an appeal for your son. As a parent, wouldn't you do that? Even if you know your son or your daughter committed a crime. If there's action to an appeal, wouldn't you try to get the appeal going to see what happens? Why would people be mad about that? See, that's what I don't understand. Why would you be mad about someone? It's not a situation that's related to you. Why would you be upset if this person files an appeal and the appeal is heard and upheld? Maybe there's a reduction to the sentence. Doesn't mean he didn't do it. But why does that make you so angry? Like, I don't get it. So when we talk about exposed to transcending racial barriers and all of that, it's because you need to stop and think as to why you're angry. Is it because who the kid is? Why? I mean, but that's I particularly, I respect everybody's opinion. The only thing is that I felt it weird that people would get upset about an appeal process. Why would you be upset about that? And for Skittles to talk about it the way he did, condemning and everything, I'm like, bitch, aren't you always advocating for Dubs and, he's a good man, he needed to be on the streets? Or, well, no, bitch, not based on your logic, that logic that you're using to accuse this black kid, because he's doing it because he's black. Skittles is racist. And that's what I'm criticizing. Carmelo Anthony stabbed that kid. There's no question about it. He admitted to it. I don't know what you guys want me to say. All I'm saying is that if he has action to an appeal, if you're not the family member of the victim or the friend or the neighbor or live in that community, right? Knew him, saw him growing up. If you're like far away, why would it upset you? And see, my problem with how Skittles did it is because he's trying to use his opinion as facts. Your opinions aren't facts, bitch. You don't even know half of what's going on here. You just come out and try to juice this story for your benefit and to spread your fake ass propaganda. Let me catch up with these chats. That's right, Mags. Thank you so much for being here. Jay Slaughter, Machete, Talk That Papas for, hey, what's up, Facto? What's up, man? Yeah, we're talking papas over here, man. Talking papas on a Treacherous Tuesday. Please give me a heads up. Please give me a heads up if that interview goes down. We're shutting down. Okay? If that interview goes down, we're shutting down. Please let me know. That'll be interesting. Sometimes you have to play the devil's advocate, especially when it comes to you. I play the devil's advocate with myself all the time. Some people call it looking at the pros and the cons. Okay? But I also question a lot of what I believe. I put it into question. I'll read things that question my faith, and then I'll check it out. Up to now, I've been pretty firm in how I think and in my belief system, for ever since I accepted the Lord, all through this trajectory, I've pretty much stayed the same. I've learned more. Obviously, I've learned more, I think I have a better relationship with God now than I did at the beginning of my walk. But I always have to test it. I always have to test it because there's so much, and you want to make sure that the decisions that you make are guided by reason, by truth, and by fact, not based on biases, your feelings, and your prejudices. Like, don't let your prejudices dictate right or wrong. Like, if something's wrong, it's wrong no matter who it's wrong against. If something is right, it's right no matter who it's for. Then we have to agree with that. That's the only way we're going to transcend politics, race, religion. You have to also check yourself and think, am I looking at it this way because I'm biased towards who it is and what happened? Am I biased? Am I only thinking about the victim? But what if my son was a child? Now, here's the thing. Of the people of the of the revolution, people that I know that have children, that some are bigger, I'm glad to know that I would say none of them have gone down the path that we took, down the path of crime, down the path of gangs, drugs, whatever, partying, siendo vagos. So I would be more than confident to say that you're not going through what our parents and our friends' parents and those that came before us went through when they were involved in gangs or in crimes. I remember my mom wanted to pay my bail, and I told her, Mom, don't, just save your money. Because parents and family will try to do that. They'll try to do it for you. Why are you so against it? just let people do what they're gonna do. Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad that the guy might have action in an appeal? Let it be. I see more people. I don't see you guys as angry that these two idiots are out here running amok. They're being idiots. And they look at what they're doing with their second opportunity. And then they come out here hypocritically accusing and trying to get someone locked up for life, showing no mercy whatsoever. But when they were on that side, when they were pleading for clemency, they wanted everybody to listen and to think that they were victims of the state or whatever. They have PTSD and all of these things. That's my problem. My problem is with the hypocrisy and the racism. That's my problem. So sometimes you have to play the devil's advocate. Sometimes you have to question why it is that you feel a certain way. And you want to make sure that the reason why you're doing this is a righteous reason, right? It's not going to be based on biases, on hate, off your insecurities, off your fears. No, do it righteously. Let's see. Hey, remember that one fool who was always shower sharking the ledges? He was almost always getting caught. Man, that was me. Peeping Dan. Peeping Dan. That's right. Shankopotamus, nice to see you, Facto. That's right, Cali Big Dog. Everyone's in here. Let me see. Here we go. I don't even know what you're talking about, dummy. Let's see. That's right. Shanks, Facto, Shanks. That's right. Frank Ticas is here. That's right. Man. That fool's dumb. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, he's definitely getting an appeal here. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to go through, but they're going to listen to it, especially because it looks kind of weird. Whether people want to downplay it. I'm not going to downplay it because I think it looks weird that a judge would, almost resign right after a case such as this. And it was only after the case that he allowed for a certain portion of the video to be released. So whether you agree to it or not, if that was you, if you were in the situation where you've already been convicted, but you might be able to get some action, you're going to try to get some action. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't say, no, I wouldn't, because I would recognize that my crime was, no, you wouldn't. You'll try to take a plea bargain. You'll try to get, and if you have action at getting off or getting less time, you're going to go for that. Why be upset because someone else is going to do the same thing? That's what I don't understand. Paging Ghost of everyone appeals. Yeah. So I don't know exactly, bro. Everyone appeals. So why does that make people angry? I got called the R word. I was told I had a low IQ take. How is that a low IQ take if I'm not taking a stance on this? I'm just pointing out the obvious and questioning why Skittles feels to have such a high moral authority to cast judgment on this guy and to even make up scenarios like, yeah, you know what gets you in a wreck? Talking. That's right, talking and not moving. It's like, bitch, you don't know what happened. You weren't there. How are you just talking out of the side of your neck? Talking papas. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge. Talking papas on a Treacherous Tuesday. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. We're waiting to see if another thing pops up in a little bit. Okay, and if so, let me know. Please let me know so we can all mosey on over and check that out. That's right. Paging Ghost, potentially really. Jay Slaughter, that's right. Paging Gina, that's right. I hope my kid kept their fucking paws to themselves. That's another thing. Like, why is it okay for this kid to touch another kid? I mean, that kid should have not touched them. And you know what? And at the end of the day, where are the parents? Not just, the what is it? This kid that passed away. Rest in peace, man. Families suffering the consequences, but their family seems kind of racist. Where was his family? Like, where were the grown-ups in all of this? Like, I already know that Carmelo Anthony's family, like, after watching a few videos, they're kind of scandalous. They're kind of scandalous, little treacherous. So you kind of understand how this kid could be walking around with a knife. Let's just be real. If you grow up in a household where everyone's fucking treacherous Tuesday, you're going to be a little treacherous yourself. This other kid grew up in a kind of a racist home. Dad made some racist comments. It is what it is. So there was some bias there. Yes, there was some race there. But at the end of the day, it's two kids that didn't like each other. One felt that he could put hands on the other. One was probably expecting for that fool to put hands on him and decided to do what he did. Were they right? Were either of them right? No. Where are the adults? Where are the parents in all of this? That's my question. Let's see. The kid did stab the other kid. That's not disputed. Jury rejected self-defense and convicted on murder one. Now it's going through appeal process. That's just I don't know what else you can say. Now, if all I'm saying is this, it's a big if. If, motherfuckers. If somehow, some way, that longer video that was released to the public somehow has any weight, any bearing, it will be used. It will probably be used in that appeal. And that's all I said. I said, all I know is that once, like, not new evidence, but things get released to the public, a lot of times it gains traction, it heats up again, and then people are willing to look at other sides, right, to the other side of the coin. And I think that could happen. I'm not saying, he's going to get off, but, hey, he might get a reduced sentence. You never know. That's facts, Frank. That's right. The haters hate when you clearly lay out irrefutable hypocrisy. Yeah, I mean, I truly feel it's an unfortunate situation. That's the only thing I can agree with Skittles with. It's an unfortunate situation. Both families are at a loss. I truly believe that, I think Metcalf was the last name of the kid, or is the last name of the family. I truly think that they're a united family, but I also think that they taught him to be a little racist. So he was a little racist towards this kid. Now, this kid was a little violent. He seems violent. He seems like he came from a violent upbringing. That's not to say that the Metcalf kid wasn't violent. He just had a better upbringing. Because the minute you decide to grab onto someone or to push someone or to hold on to someone, you're already crossing the line to where you can get socked up. Just so happens that this kid, instead of doing that, stabbed the guy. You know, stabbed the other kid, killed him, turned himself in, admitted to it, has already been, well, there's nothing you can do. It's done. But why are you upset that he wants to appeal? Explain it to me, please. Frank Tika, it's good to see you again. That's right. Say it louder for the. That's right, Jay Slaughter. Always a pleasure to see you. Okay. And baby girl Wendy, sometimes I'm gonna skip some of your chats because you put on a lot. That's right. Nah, but don't trip. But go ahead, Wendy. That's right, Wendy. Thanks so much for jumping on. Thanks so much for being here and supporting. Thank you so much. I'm just not gonna read all of them. That's what I want. Let's see. Leonard was implying Carmelo was a super. Yeah. Look. You know what kind of bothered me was when he said they could see him like Michael Myers standing over, but that was not the case. That is not how it happened. It was, he stabbed him once and fled, or a couple of times. We don't really know. You can't tell from the video, but it was pretty quick. He wasn't hacking away. They weren't pulling him off. He shanked him a couple of times and ran off. It's messed up. It's messed up. It's messed up. There should have been adults present. There should have been some kind of mediating going on. And then Leonard has the nerve of trying to incriminate some other kid. It's like, come on, bro. Like, fuck. Your finger pointing days are over, bitch. Were you trying to do it for free or what? Shankopotamus, that's right. The R word, yeah, respectable. That's right. Mag, that's right. Mag, just to see you. Golden Rule, that's right. The Golden Rule. Ill mannered. Okay, very good. Let's see, why the little punk have a shank in his backpack? Hey man, listen. I think a lot of us at one point we carried a knife or some kind of weapon. I'm just glad I was never put in a situation or in a position in which I ever used, a weapon. Thank God. But I remember walking around with a knife. It was a foldable knife. But I never got into it with anyone like that, and yeah. But yeah, it's a good question. Nowadays, why would he have a knife nowadays and these days? I always had a shank on me. Yeah, some people have been walked around strapped since junior high. A Skittles out the dick of a corpse. He was definitely a super predator. That's right. That's right, Mags, Miss Yaya, baby girl Wendy, ill mannered. J Slaughter, the Descendants' father was also okay. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see, Miss Yaya, always a pleasure. That's right, ill mannered, baby girl. That's crazy. Wendy finally brought a charger. That's great news. All right, very good. So yeah. So you have to be able to do that with everything that you hear. You have to be able to test it. You have to be able to put yourself on the other side and question it. And if after you question it, you still feel the same way, then you're good. I'm saying is that I hope none of our children are ever faced with charges or with any of that type of thing. God forbid. But we know damn well, as parents, that we're going to try to find a way to get them the most time reduced as possible. If it goes through an appeal, if it goes through a rehearing, or new evidence is found, or you're actively looking for new evidence, seeking out things, or pushing for things to be released, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. So don't be mad because other people are doing the same. Shit, let them. Then if the community wants to stand behind them, why are you so upset? Don't worry about it. You should be standing behind your own community instead of over here like, trying to get points with the oath keepers. you know? You should be advocating for lessening of terms and prison sentences. You should be advocating for more programs, for more institutions to be out there to help kids and have platforms, to have ways of voicing their opinions, their frustrations, of being able to do something with their time, being able to prevent interfamily violence, like all of these things, man. That's what we should be advocating for. Like when you guys come out here and you're like judges and you want to be like hardcore with these kids that committed crimes, I just put myself in the position of, would you feel comfortable with someone doing that to you or one of yours? No. And if you had action at an appeal, would you want people to try to block that shit? No, you wouldn't want that shit because it's an appeal, bitch. That's all it is. You've already been convicted. No, this kid has already been convicted. There's nothing you can do about that. That's it. What's done is done. All you can do now is appeal. Now, if there's strong enough evidence to where it comes out that there was like a whole systematic thing so that this kid could not prove his innocence, or there was other testimony and it comes out, hey man, what, you're just going to deny the facts because it doesn't fit in with what you've already decided? That's my problem. And that is why we are so limited sometimes. That's why we fall into the trap sometimes, because we want to hold on to our biases. Our biases sometimes won't allow us to see that, you know what, that wasn't fair. I may not like that person, but what happened to that person wasn't fair. You should be able to see that, because you might be in a position where something unfair happens to you. Then you want to make sure that other people can see it and be like, you know what, that was unfair. You're right. We may not agree with each other, but you're absolutely right. That was not fair. And something should be done about it. It should be done. That system should be fixed, because maybe it's a systematic problem. And don't think what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you're saying these people should not have access to an appeal, well, what you're basically saying is no one should have access to an appeal. But if you feel that way, fucking Skittles, then you and fucking Joker will probably be behind bars right now. Straight up. What are we talking about here? Congratulations on your new Charger. Hey, hi, Sunshine Valentine. Nice to see you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Mike, man. Send my love and respect always to you guys. Shout out to Exposed Tube. Shout out to ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to Sooners. Shout out to Taco Stain, the Hangman Stranger, Katie Frizzle, everyone putting out their content. Thank you so much for supporting. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Talking Papas, Treacherous Tuesday. Frank Ftdk's dropping knowledge. Talking Papas live. Sometimes you have to play the devil's advocate. Playing the devil's advocate does not mean that you are in favor of the opposite side. On the contrary, most of the time when you play the devil's advocate is because you don't agree with the position that you're taking, but you're using it to test, to foolproof your position, to foolproof what you think. That's what you use the devil's advocate for. You use it to test your theory, to test your beliefs, to test what you're thinking. So all I'm saying is this. Always put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I know it's hard sometimes because we want to be right. Sometimes we want to hold on to these feelings because they make us feel a certain way. We have a certain bias. We have a certain hate towards certain people. But man, trust me, you're not going to really grow and you're not going to see much positive going in your life if you're holding on to biases. That's why when Exposed says we transcend, religions, races, nationalities, gangs, prisons, all of that, this is a step towards that. Like how do you start breaking that is by testing it, is by truly performing the whole devil advocate thing, right? Like, okay, so I'm going to go to the store. Why? Because I need to buy this. Okay, but are you sure that's the best way you're going to spend your money? Is that the best way to spend your money, or is there a better way for you to use that money? See, that's playing the devil's advocate. I'm talking to myself. I want to go buy them shoes. that's you know. But then I have to think. Is this the right thing to do? So let me question myself a little bit. Obviously, you can do it better, and it's a lot more effective when you're questioning other people. Like I did Skittles. But that does not mean that I'm taking a position. What it means is I'm testing what you're saying because you're being a hypocrite. But we have to be careful if what we're talking about is hypocritical. The other Sunday, we talked about David, and how he fasted, whatever. But before that, the prophet visited him, told him a story, and he got all enraged. And then the prophet turned around and said, "That's you, fool." So you see how that rage that you feel? Well, that's the rage that God feels for what you did. So we just need to be able to test, like, am I being sincere in the judgment that I'm placing? Am I being sincere in this that I'm thinking? Would I feel the same way if it was a loved one, if it was me? If it was me, would I still feel this way? I mean, we could try to play righteous as though, yeah, of course, I'll take full responsibility, and we probably would. But if there's action to get a reduced sentence or to not go to jail at all, come on. You're telling me you wouldn't take it if it's a legal, viable way to do so? Why not? If you're not playing the system, if you're not scamming anyone, if you're not strong arming anyone, if it's a legal recourse that you can take, why not take it? And why get upset if other people take it? Now, I do understand, for example, cases in which repeat offenders, they get let out on the street again. They do it again. They do some heavier crime, and then months later they release them again. I'm all against that shit. I'm against that. Sorry, I am against it. I'm talking about violence, like violence. When these guys come out and do violence, like hurt people, innocent people, in any way, shape, or form that you can think of. If you haven't like rehabilitated, and every time you get put out on the street, you go back to doing the same shit, I got an issue with that. Of course I do. Sunshine, that's right. Sunshine, good to see you. Pearly, it wasn't a shank, it was a multi-tool. Okay. Yeah, in my video they showed it was like a foldable knife, but it might be one of those multi-tools. Okay. Gotta have a multi-tool in the backpack, that's law. All right, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up, X-Rated? Nice to see you, man. Thanks so much for everyone showing up and showing love. Thank you so much for all of you that are in the chat. Those of you that are watching, if you haven't done so, please hit the like. Please subscribe. Thanks for being here. The irreverent one, those were some big honkies on them too. Yeah, they were pretty big. So I mean, listen, man. See, people forget, bro, and that's why I'm very much against hypocrisy, and I know that maybe in the past I've been a hypocrite, but now I truly fight against it. And that's why I check, triple check, think, and rethink about what I'm going to say and what I'm going to do. Okay? But let's be real, man. We knew kids that got down. I remember kids that got down. I remember in junior high, I knew 12th graders that had gotten shot already. I knew 14-year-olds that had been stabbed. I mean, this is not something new. That's why it bothers me that it's being turned into like a whole different thing than what it really is. It's a tragic situation of two people, two kids that had the wrong upbringing on both sides to where they hated each other before they even knew each other. That's really what it is. And it's all based on societal norms, biases, everything that we talk about when we're on the collective, when I'm on my live. It's all of these social aspects that sometimes have an effect. But what would you think if it was a young Latino kid being punked by football players or by the track team, whoever it is? Athletic fools. Now, if you're a good parent, you're going to be on top of it. You know what I mean? But if you don't watch over your child, and this kid feels in a sort of way, maybe threatened, I don't know, or animosity, too much to bear, and you're not controlling it, this type of shit can happen. I'm not saying it's excusable. I'm just saying it happens. It happens. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. It's been happening since we were kids. You're not going to tell me, those of you that were about it, that were part of a neighborhood. Come on, bro. Come on. See, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, people try to judge it from like a higher moral plane. But if you do that, first and foremost, you got to put yourself in your shoes when you were in that situation. Okay, and then you can have a better view, and then you can have a better judgment, and then you can give your opinion, but don't let your opinion be biased or not informed. That's right. That's right. Frank Ticas, I was gone for so long because my chart. Oh, okay. It lost and decreased. All right. I know, baby girl. These dudes are working with emotions like a bunch of women. Yeah. A 17-year-old kid doing 35 years for a heat of the moment self-defense stabbing is not going to make a world a better place. Look, man, I'm all for consequences, right? But it doesn't necessarily have to be 30 years. Man, I've seen kids that because of who their family is, and I'm sorry to say this, because of their skin complexion, are rapists, and then they go into the court and say, well, if you guys put him in jail, you're going to ruin his life. He has a whole future ahead of him, and he might have like 3 or 4 great victims. But they get let off the hook. There's a monarch who was recently, I don't forget his name, but there's a monarch, young guy. I think he's in his teens or early 20s. I'll look him up right now. But he got charged 4 years for violent grape. I mean, I know that obviously we're talking about the difference between that essay and death, right? Obviously, there's a big difference. But 4 years, all because of who he is. And in a lot of towns across America, that's going to play a factor. The ignorance from this guy talking in the chat is astonishing. That's right. Frank spitting fact. These dudes are slow. Yeah, that's right. That's right, oh mannered. I suppose since you use a word like astonishing, yeah, exactly. You're back. Salute everyone. What's up? I know. Nice to see you. This dude was worse than Groot. Does DSL get on change your channel if you don't like what's. Hey, that's right, Mike Morella. Nice to see you, Mike. Hey, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. All I'm saying is don't be a hypocrite. That's all I'm saying, man. If you're gonna come out here and you're gonna talk, at least run it through, your moral compass and be real about it. There are some things that I mean, I'm sure that I can judge certain things, but I always do it from a perspective of, man, I've gone through that. Like if I've gone through that, I come from it with empathy. I come to it with empathy. I come to it with understanding. I'm not excusing it, but what I'm saying is that I can understand how things could happen. Things could happen. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that someone is evil. It just means that a situation got out of hand, and the people that are responsible, in my case, the parents, the adults, the coaches, whoever, were not around. They let these kids deal with it, like deal with these things on their own. I don't know how long that had been going on. I don't know how long they had been having issues. The reality is that if this clash happened, it's because it'd been going on for some time. For this kid to be walking around with a shank in his pocket, come on. Spencer, what's up, big friend? What's up to you, my friend? Just leaving. All right, that's right. Hey, Joe Below, nice to see you. Mag, good to see you, fam. Mike, that's right. Yeah, so look, man, I judge the hypocrisy. I judge the hypocrisy. That's all I'm saying. We have to be very careful. Are we judging this righteously or are we being biased? That's very easy to know. That's right, Mike. Mike's in the house, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that's watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. We're talking papas. Treacherous Tuesday. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge once again. I just wanted to share this because people really need to have more critical thinking. And also, you need to understand what you're watching, bitch. Like, how did you watch my video and come to the conclusion that I took a stance on that whole scenario, on that whole case? I didn't take a stance. Quite the contrary. All I said was, hey, man, these things could happen. These are opportunities. These are things that people may look at, and these are things that may motivate people to put an appeal. That's all I said. That's facts. If you were in a situation in which someone said, hey, look, this information over here, if you use it, might get you a better deal, whether it's you're buying a car. Look, I've worked in price matching, and you may think that it's not comparable, but it fucking is. Okay? If you're buying a plane ticket, if you bought a plane ticket today, $100 plane ticket, you're going to another city, real close, $100. And there's an airline that promises to match the price, right? So they sold you the ticket for $100. You found the same flight, same conditions, same time, because it's got to be everything the same, for $85. What are you going to be like? No, wait a minute. I agreed to paying $100. I don't care. If you have a price match guarantee, I'm not going to use it. And I don't want anyone else to use it. You're not going to see that shit. Don't lie. Stop being a fucking hypocrite. If you saw a price match guarantee and you can get $25 knocked off your plane ticket, you're going to get those $25 knocked off your plane ticket real quick. Won't you do that if it's a fucking 30-year sentence? Come on. Let's not be hypocritical. That's all I'm saying. Don't be angry because this person is trying to use a recourse that you would use. Come on. If it's legal, as long as it's legal, if it can be proven, if it's facts and it can be taken to court and it can stand on its own legs and there's an actual righteous, push in that direction, Hey, crazier things have happened. Look at OJ. If it don't fit, you must have quit. You know, and everybody knew that fool did it. He even wrote a book about it. If I would have done it, wasn't it? If I would have done it, hint, hint. And I don't see, I don't see people didn't get, and they did get outraged even back then. And it always becomes a social thing. And that's the part that I don't agree with. I don't agree with it becoming a racial social thing, even if at its root, I do believe that this situation has some roots in racism and bias and discrimination, in any way that you could think of. I think there's some of it in this situation that made these kids go at each other. Sometimes it's a girl, sometimes it's just stupid shit. I mean, we've all been kids, and sometimes one small thing will escalate into a big thing. That's just reality. I've EDC the blades, and yeah, I've carried a blade. Yeah. What about the college fraternities that get shut down for scandalous behavior and no one is held accountable? Hazing has killed. Exactly, bro. Look, man, I didn't want to bring it up, but so many people came out and defended that Rittenhouse kid. How are you going to defend a kid that traveled to another fucking state, crossed the line illegally with a weapon? He shouldn't even have been there, and he fucking killed. How many people did he kill? Oh, self-defense. Why are you toting a gun? See, and that's my other criticism of Skittles' whole thing, is because he's like, "How are you going to bring a knife to?" Come on, you fool! If there's 4 or 5 more people that you think are probably going to kick your ass, you're going to grab a brick, you're going to grab a bat, you're going to grab something, fool. Come on. You're trying to place judgment, knowing damn well that if it was you, you would definitely try to fucking protect yourself at all costs. If you feel, and that's the big if. We don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Carmelo was right. I don't know if he was wrong. I don't know if he was truly intimidated. I don't know. I don't know none of that. I wasn't there. I wasn't under that tent. All I know is what I hear and what I see. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just surprised that people are so fucking angry about a kid trying to fucking go through an appeal process. Prince Andrew is the image of a regent who is allowed to carry on with their grape. Exactly, bro. That's right. So the rich and the powerful, and see, these guys, because of what they believe in and the agendas they push, they want proximity to power. That's what they want, proximity to power. They want proximity to MAGA, because MAGA has been holding on to the power for a bit. It's kind of dwindling down. They lost the crypto people. They lost a lot of people. Hey, we'll see where that goes. But these guys are holding on to it because they're stupid. So they push the same narratives. That's all it is. That's why I criticize fucking Skittles. That's right, Exposed to. Sending my respects, Frank, to you in the chat. Hey, right back to you, brother. Right back to you. Shout out to Exposed to. Ladies of Exposed to. Taco Stain. Hangman Stranger. Katie Frizzle. Sooners. Everybody putting their stuff out there. Terps. Ghost. Bubba's Army. Slugs. Chill. Man, shout out to everybody. And prayers to everyone going through it, man. That's right. ET's in the house. Shout out to ET, man. That's right. Some people are masochists and prefer to pay extra. That's true. Everyone should look at it objectively. Correct. OG had a good lawyer and money. He got off like that. Yeah, exactly, bro. I remember someone tried to tell me that because I worked with lawyers, that was the same as an informant. No, it's not, bitch. Now, working for lawyers, because I translate documents and everything, I do have access to ask questions, to do a lot of things that are legal. And I know of a lot of things that are legal. I've learned a lot of legalese and Spanish and English, you know, but that just comes with the territory. And when you see that, you understand that if we look at it just from the legal point of view, nobody should be offended that someone's trying to push an appeal. Everybody appeals. Have you seen they have homeless people sending ballots for Democratic candidates? They're out in certain parts of Cali giving homeless people money. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Look, I think as it could be true, I think both sides play the same games. So for me, it's not like one side or the other. For me, it's like you have to be able to maneuver through life. Sometimes some of your thoughts may be conservative, some of your thoughts may be a little more liberal. Sometimes it's like that. If you're a complete human being and you see things objectively, you might agree to things with people that are supposedly your enemy on certain things, and you may disagree on some certain things with people that are supposedly your friends just because of your ethics and your values and your belief systems. That's natural. I don't like to paint people with broad brushes unless they've proven to be fucking, you know, sheeple or lemmings. You guys know what lemmings are, right? If not, look it up. That's right, Joe Below. That's right, Joe Below. Andre, yeah, the other side would never resort to such lows. Low, where at, Andre? I would sign up for my Joe Below. That's right, Joe Below. I'm looking for. Yeah, me too, bro. Hey, I'm not gonna be here that much longer. I've already been here an hour. So let me know if you guys see it go on. We're gonna jump off. We're all gonna go over there together. Show our support. You can tell the real propaganda because the fact that somebody is homeless somehow makes something extremely scandalous and salacious to them. Yeah, I mean, being homeless does not mean that you're not a human. It does not mean that you don't have a right to vote. It does not mean that you don't have a right to your opinion. It just means that you don't have money for a house. A lot of children are homeless. They live with their parents. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, come on. See, and you're absolutely right, Jay Slaughter. Give me a second. Man, finally scored a goal. Croatia against Panama. I've been watching the games, chilling. If you haven't already done so, please go watch a video I put out today. It's a little short. It's a little short video. It's only around 3 minutes. Won't take up too much of your time. Hit the like. And, if you haven't hit the like on this live, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks to everyone that's watching. I've got 36 people watching. Got people in the chat. Thanks so much, guys. I guess they got to work out the logistics. Gears aren't turning. Yeah, man. That's right. Let's see. I'm way the fuck left of anything in ourselves. Yeah, I am too. I'm way the fuck left. And like I tell people, man, I grew up under Reaganomics. I grew up thinking the U.S. was the greatest country in the world. I grew up that way, even though, I was a legal resident. I grew up pledging allegiance just like every other kid. I grew up thinking the U.S. was great. But when you leave the U.S. for whatever reason, just move to another country or go somewhere and stay out there for at least 3 or 4 months, you will see things a lot differently. Very nonpartisan. That's right. That lemming shit was fake. They pushed the lemmings off the. But they had a game. The lemmings. Both parties have silence. Yeah, both. I think both parties have good people, and they also have extremists. And the extremists are the ones that play the whole race baiting and making everything racial or everything about identity. It's not all about identity politics. We share more common traits than we do differences. That's right, listening from work. That's right, Oakland. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not blocking anyone. You didn't get blocked because you're writing. Hi, Oakland. That's right. Good to see you, sister. They paid a homeless guy to sign a piece of paper saying that he's supported a candidate. Imagine hearing that and somehow being troubled. Yeah. Sorry I'm late, Mr. T, because I was checking in on something. All right, cool. Hey, nice to see you, Katie. Nice to have you. We're over here just talking, about being a devil's advocate, putting everything to the test. Don't just blindly follow things because you believe in partisan politics. A lot of the problems that are going on in the world are because of partisan politics. It's because people would rather stick to their differences than look to find things where everyone has common ground and it's the best thing for the people. Usually they forget about the people and are only focused on the donors, on who's lining their pockets. I catch full replay though. All right, that's cool. Go hit the Fox News extra. Don't agree with their other. They block people. I'm just saying. Hey, look, man. I'm not. I don't read every single comment. Sometimes the mods will time you out if you're acting like a troll. If you claim not to be a troll and you just have a question, that's fine as well. Hey, but you're here. You're commenting, so I guess you're okay. Joe Below is good, my brother. Let's see. We just don't like you. Let's see. Ill manner, Oakland, everything. That's right. Andre, I'm not entertaining that embarrassing of ridiculously substantial. That's right. So there's a liberal chat that doesn't listen to other views, Frank. I didn't know. No, it's not liberal. It's not conservative. It's whatever people have an idea of. You know. Well, Frank, here's opinion on the willfully blind. They who whip out their shades and walking sticks and others to sleep at night. Yeah, that's right. We're a liberal chat now. Yeah, no, we're not. We just all have different opinions. Let's see. On the willfully blind, they whip out their shades and walk. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mr. Slaughter, that's right. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to come out here and talk about that a little bit. Just, you have to have critical thinking and you also have to be able to view things without any bias. And I think that's hard sometimes. And I understand because we all have biases. But don't let your biases, don't let your prejudices rule in your line of thinking. Because when you do that, you may become a hypocrite in which you judge things that you would allow for you and yours, but you wouldn't allow them for other people just because of where they come from, their skin color, whatever it is. That's right, Katie. That's right. That's right. Yep. That interview is gonna be the last thing on the. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens, man. We're gonna see. Now, I thought it was gonna happen yesterday based on what they said, but we'll see, I guess. All right, very good, very good. Anyways, I don't know if you guys have any questions. I don't know if you guys have any questions. I'm being facetious. Katie, this he doesn't know political constructs beyond his partisan propaganda security blanket. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Ill manner, just to, yeah. Okay. I think when you said Democrat, I think that's what when you mentioned it because the way you stated it seemed as though it bothered you because it was Democrats, and I said that it could be. I've seen both sides do it. I've also seen him playing out the maps, right? Like trying to change the electoral maps and things like that. I mean, All of that is trickery. That's what I think. Smider Mike, I was thinking the same thing, bro. It is pure propaganda in favor of billionaires, fear of the homeless, fear of the poor. Yeah, man. He said World deserves that respect. I agree. Yeah, he does. He does. You know. Hey, anyway, so look, man, I want to make this clear as well. This is Treacherous Tuesday. I'm talking papas. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge, talking papas. Live on a Treacherous Tuesday. Shout out to everyone that's been in here, that's been on the chat, that's hit the like. Yes, I have, bro. Yes, I have. I've been to San Pedro Sula, Honduras. I've been to Honduras. I've been to Guatemala. I want to go to Nicaragua. I've been to Honduras twice when I was involved heavily with the church. We went on a few trips over there because there's like some sister churches of where I belong to. It might be okay, okay, all right, cool, cool, cool. Well, that gives me some time, but I'm gonna be off in a little bit. I'm not gonna stay on too long. Shout out to okay, yeah, we're gonna see. Well, it was in San Francisco, so definitely wasn't a problem. Just saying. I mean, I don't know about. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't know about it. I don't know what to think about it. I would have to look into it. And even if that was the case, I just think the way we structure our paragraphs and things. Sometimes we may use trigger words because we want to make a statement. And that's just that your statement felt that way, and maybe someone took it that way. Did they say, "Oh, it's a literal chat"? Didn't cry that when did I bring up politics 5 minutes ago? This grade, okay, cool, all right, hey man, that's so I still got a little time, but I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna be on here a little too long, too much longer. Good observation, smiles with two. Okay, okay, thank you, Manner. I said liver. Okay, I get you, Kate. All right, so I want to say this. Why I want you guys to know this, so you guys know that I'm constantly being attacked by trolls. They go out of their way. They really want to find shit on me. I guess whatever. But I also know that they've had access to some of the pictures that I've posted on my social media, and maybe some things that I've done on my social media, as far as like things that I've done, classes, English things. I don't give things like that. Why would I be ashamed or feel ridiculed in any way, shape, or form by something that I myself posted? Now, if someone, used the trust I granted them at some point to go fishing for stuff, that speaks more to that person, whoever it is, than to me. As far as you guys using my pictures when I was a kid, that doesn't do shit. I'm still who I am. I'm still the man that you see right here. I'm still over here talking papas, Treacherous Tuesday. We're talking papas, you know. Because even the stuff that you put on me, if you put it in front of an unbiased lens, it makes you look stupid. I said little chat because certain people got in their feelings when I said the trigger word. Okay, but then you know that you are using trigger words. You do admit that. So you did come in with a little bit of a triggering attitude, your comment. So you got what you wanted. And you basically got to see that there are people that may have a difference of opinion or may not like the way that you worded it. That is just reality. you know? It's not my chat. What happens here though on my channel, and just like in every channel that we get down with, is we're just honest. We keep it a buck. We speak our minds and we say what we feel, you know and I champion that. Andre, if you want to talk about bloated livers, please tell us who's treacherous. There's a lot of snake talk and grimy chatter. Yeah, bro, too much, man, too much, too much. And I know that by me taking on the type of content and taking on the type of dudes that I take on with my content, with my lives, with my videos, I know that people are gonna feel a certain way and come attack whatever. It is what it is, man. You know. But I'm not. I don't. Why would I feel ashamed about my childhood? Nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing at all. I was a good kid. Shit. I always say that. I always tell people that I was in the gifted and talented program up to ninth grade. I participated in the choir. I was in the dance group. I was in the yearbook. I did all of that shit. And I had action to a lot of shit. That's right. X-rated Johnny Rata's going to get drunk and black out after whatever. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going to happen, bro. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know why. I think he might go radio silent, but that's just my opinion. He might go radio silent for a while, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Andre, you guys are funny, yo, man. Machete. Let's see. Oh, I believe the crash out could be epic X-rated. Yeah, we'll see. When we go to Ross, we present by posting a. Okay, all right, cool. I can already hear the briefer say, "Oh, that's AI." No, that's yeah. Hangman, good to know. Thanks, Hangman. That's right, Frizz, Joe Below, Katie. Thank you guys so much for supporting, for being here. Speaking our minds is why I've decided to retire from paneling. I'm too dangerous. I don't know. Maybe not dangerous. Just, I guess more aware, more aware. Skittles, where you at? That's right, Mr. Eisner. That fool's MIA. Maybe he sees it coming. Maybe he sees it coming. Low auction or doubt what food, unless a certain president wants to mean the okay. Hey, you should do a challenge. I don't know if you guys are challenging. Remember, the battle box challenge section is open. You can go leave a comment of who you want to battle. Go sign up. Go get ready. Battle boxes will be the thing to do. Trigger word. I can't take fool seriously. Who regurgitates this corny fox? Yeah, yeah. Jay Slaughter. That's my thing. Good to see you, bro. Johnny Rata's gonna unplug his router when he's gonna pull the blinds. He's gonna close the blinds. Get under his desk with Diamond and chill for a bit. I might make an exception. Thanks, Frank. I'll try to do better. Oh man, Katie, you're crazy. That's right, Joe Below, brother, real mannered. Yeah, man. Look, sometimes you have to be the devil's advocate. Once again, you have to really pay attention. Watch my video if you haven't watched the video I put out yesterday, please watch it. If you haven't watched the video I put out today, please watch it. Hit the like. But the video I put out yesterday, I did not take any stance in that case. I was just playing the devil's advocate. And what I was pointing out was Skittles' hypocrisy of being so judgmental and so harsh a critic when he himself and his best friend benefited from appeals and certain court decisions that if we were to take their logic, they should not have accepted, and they should continue to be behind bars. That was my criticism. That's right. That's right. Katie Frizzle, Andre. I'm sure Peter, though, is stoked you made an account yesterday to defend the physical. Kathy Frizz, good evening, young lady. That's right. I am crazy. I knew that would make you laugh. We know I can't help myself. I know. We're cool, though. You know we're cool, Katie. Sometimes I just have to pump your brakes a little, but that's it. That's it. I try to do it, the best way I can. As cool as I can. All right. Yeah, shout out to SC. That's right. Hey, man. Shout out to everyone that joined me today. Shout out to everyone that paid attention to what I put out. Shout out to the Exposed Tube family, to the ladies of Exposed Tube, to Lady Katie Frizzle, okay, to Taco Stain, Hangman Stranger Chirps, to Sooners, everybody out there putting their content. No, we're going to continue doing what we do. Yeah, exactly. We're going to continue doing what we do. And once again, man, I will not find, or you will not, or there's no way, maybe that's how I should say it. There's no way to ridicule me on stuff that I myself put out there. Right? If I put stuff out there on my social media and people abused my trust and decided to share some of those pictures with people that want to put them out there and think that they're making fun of me by putting something out there from my childhood, come on. You guys are once again, you guys are immature. You guys are like creating like a what was it? That book in fucking Mean Girls. You guys act like the Mean Girls. With that book. It's not it it's not going to do what you guys think it's going to do. If anything, it makes you guys look desperate. Once again, it makes you all look desperate. I know. I'm sorry, friend. Thank you. We got to hold Katie. We got to hold Katie back when she tries to crash out. Positive vibes. I'm trying to behave, show the support. Yes, I'm on. You're correct. I'm a bit of crash. Just be honest. I'm down with all the fans' content. I'm just lurking a lot due to time constraints. I know, Joe. We know that, man. Shout out to all of you. When you can't hide it, just say, yeah, that's right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not going to be on much longer. I'm going to jump off right now, kick it for a bit, watch the game. We'll see if, the interview pops up. So thank you guys so much for rocking with my channel, for continuing to show support. We will not stop doing what we do. Shout out to everybody. And as you guys know, like I always say, until next time,